Marcus Reed hadn't worn a uniform in 6 years, but some instincts never fade. He was pumping gas on the edge of Riverside, California, on a Tuesday afternoon when he heard it. A yelp, sharp and desperate, the kind that makes your spine straighten whether you want it to or not. He stopped mid-squeeze on the pump handle. The sound came again, behind the station, past the dumpsters where the asphalt cracked into dirt and weeds. Marcus moved without thinking. His boots crunched over gravel as he rounded the corner of the building. That's when he saw him, a man in his 30s, greasy hair, stained jeans, standing over a German Shepherd mix that was pressed against the chain-link fence, trying to make itself smaller. The man's boot came down again, hard, right into the dog's ribs. The dog whimpered but didn't fight back. It just curled tighter. Marcus felt his jaw lock. His hands became fists. He'd seen cruelty before, in places most people only read about. But something about this moment, this parking lot, this helpless animal, made his blood run cold in a way that surprised even him. "Hey!" Marcus called out. His voice was level, controlled, the kind of calm that's actually more dangerous than shouting. The man turned. His eyes were glassy, pupils too wide. He wiped his nose with the back of his hand and laughed. Actually laughed. "Mind your business, old man." Marcus was 43, 6'2", 215 pounds of controlled discipline. He took 3 steps forward. Not fast, not slow, just deliberate. The man kicked the dog one more time, like it was a point he needed to make. The animal cried out and collapsed onto its side, panting hard. Marcus stopped 10 feet away. Every nerve in his body screamed to close the distance, to make this right the way he'd been trained to make things right. But he wasn't that man anymore. He'd left that version of himself in the sand and mountains of places he couldn't talk about. "Walk away," Marcus said. "Now." The man stepped over the dog and got in Marcus's face. He smelled like sweat and cheap liquor. "Or what? You gonna call the cops? Go ahead. See how long they take to show up out here." He was right. This part of Riverside didn't see patrol cars often. The station was on the border of industrial nothing. Empty lots, shuttered warehouses, the kind of place where bad things happen quietly. The man shoved past Marcus and walked toward a rusted pickup truck parked near the back fence. He climbed in, started the engine, and before Marcus could move, the truck kicked up dust and disappeared onto the side road that led back toward the highway. Marcus stood there, breathing hard, his fist still clenched. Then he heard it again, that whimpering. He turned and saw the dog trying to stand. His back leg was shaking. Its ribs heaved with every breath. Blood matted the fur along its neck. Marcus knelt down slowly, extended his hand. The dog flinched. "Easy," Marcus whispered. "Easy, buddy. I'm not gonna hurt you." The dog's eyes were brown, deep and tired. It looked at Marcus the way wounded soldiers used to look at medics, like it wanted to believe help was real but didn't have the strength to hope. Marcus gently touched the dog's side. It didn't pull away this time, just lay there, exhausted. That's when Marcus noticed something. Around the dog's neck, beneath the blood and dirt, there was a collar, faded, worn, but still there, and attached to it was a single tag, scratched and unreadable in the dim light behind the gas station. Marcus leaned closer, squinted. He could barely make out 2 letters. A name, maybe, or part of one. But before he could read it, he heard the sound of tires on gravel again. He looked up. A vehicle was pulling into the lot. Not the pickup. Something else. Something with lights on the roof. If you're already wondering what happens next, hit that subscribe button right now. Because if you skip this story, you'll miss the moment everything changes. And trust me, you don't want to live with that regret. Marcus Reed had been a lot of things in his life. A son, a husband, a father, a SEAL. But the only title that still felt true was the one nobody wanted. Survivor. He grew up in a town called Merced, 2 hours north of Riverside. His father was a mechanic. His mother was a teacher. They raised him to believe that strength meant protecting people who couldn't protect themselves. So when Marcus turned 18, he didn't think twice. He enlisted. Bud/S training nearly killed him. But he made it. And for 12 years Marcus Reed wore the trident. He deployed 6 times. Iraq, Afghanistan, places that didn't make the news. He did things he was proud of. And things that still woke him up at 3 in the morning. But the worst day of his life didn't happen overseas. It happened at home. Marcus had been stateside for 3 months. His daughter, Emma, was 7 years old. She had his eyes and her mother's laugh. She loved drawing pictures of dolphins and asking him to read the same bedtime story every single night. A book about a lost dog who finds its way home. One Saturday afternoon, Marcus and Emma went to the park. His wife, Angela, stayed home. She had a headache. Told them to go have fun. Emma was on the swings. Marcus was pushing her. She was laughing. The sun was shining. Everything felt normal for the first time in years. Then his phone rang. A number he didn't recognize. He almost didn't answer. But he did. It was a hospital. Angela had collapsed. Aneurysm. She was gone before the ambulance even arrived. Marcus remembered falling to his knees in the grass. He remembered Emma asking why Daddy was crying. He remembered lying to her, telling her everything was going to be okay. But nothing was ever okay again. For 2 years Marcus tried. He left the Navy, took a job doing private security, raised Emma on his own. But the guilt was a weight he couldn't lift. He'd survived firefights and explosions and missions that should have killed him. But he couldn't save his wife from something that happened in their own kitchen. Emma started asking questions. Why didn't Daddy smile anymore? Why did he sleep on the couch? Why did he stare out the window like he was somewhere else? Marcus didn't have answers. And then one morning, Emma's grandmother, Angela's mother, sat Marcus down. She was gentle, kind, but firm. You're drowning, Marcus. And you're taking her down with you. Emma went to live with her grandmother in Oregon. It was supposed to be temporary, just until Marcus got his head straight. That was 4 years ago. He still talked to Emma on the phone every Sunday. She was 11 now. Smart, funny, forgiving in a way he didn't deserve. But every conversation ended the same way. When are you coming to visit, Dad? And Marcus would say soon. Always soon. But he never did. Because how do you show up for someone when you can't even show up for yourself? Marcus moved to Riverside because it was cheap and quiet and far enough from Merced that he didn't run into people who knew his story. He worked odd jobs, construction, warehouse shifts, anything that kept his hands busy and his mind empty. But some parts of you don't retire just because you take off the uniform. Marcus still woke up at 5 every morning. Still ran 5 miles before the sun came up. Still checked exits whenever he walked into a room. Still noticed things other people missed. Like the way that man at the gas station moved. Twitchy. Aggressive. The kind of body language that said he was used to getting away with things. And the dog. Marcus couldn't stop thinking about the dog. He'd seen animals in war zones. Strays that followed patrols. Dogs that soldiers fed and named and loved until it was time to leave them behind. Marcus had always hated that part. The leaving. After Angela died, Emma had begged for a dog. Marcus said no. He told himself it was because they didn't have time. But the truth was simpler. He couldn't handle one more thing that needed him. Now, kneeling behind a gas station in the fading afternoon light, Marcus looked at this beaten, broken animal and saw every failure he'd been carrying for 6 years. The dog's breathing was shallow. Its eyes half closed. Marcus pulled out his phone. No signal. Of course not. This part of Riverside was a dead zone. He heard the tires again. Closer now. Marcus stood and turned toward the sound. A patrol car rolled slowly into the lot. White and black. Riverside County Sheriff. It stopped near the gas pumps. The door opened, and out stepped a woman. She was maybe 30, 5'6". Dark hair pulled back in a tight ponytail. Her uniform was clean and pressed, but her boots were scuffed. She moved like someone who'd been doing this job long enough to know when something was wrong. Her eyes found Marcus immediately. "Everything okay here?" she called out. Her hand rested on her belt. Not on her weapon, just near it. Marcus straightened, raised his hands slightly. Old habit. Let them see your hands. Let them know you're not a threat. I need help, Marcus said. There's an injured dog back here. Deputy Sarah Callahan walked toward him. Slow, cautious. Her eyes swept the area. The dumpsters. The fence. The shadows. You heard it? She asked. No. Marcus's voice was tight. Someone else did. Guy in a pickup. Kicked it. Multiple times. Drove off maybe 5 minutes ago. Sarah reached Marcus and looked past him. Saw the dog. Her expression changed. The professional mask slipped for just a second. Jesus, she whispered. She knelt down next to the animal. Checked its breathing. Its pulse. She was gentle. Practiced. You see the truck? She asked without looking up. Rusted. Red. Maybe a Chevy. Couldn't catch the plate. The guy. 30s. White. Brown hair. Greasy. Jeans and a black shirt. Pupils were blown. My guess? Meth. Maybe something worse. Sarah looked up at Marcus then. Really looked. Her eyes narrowed. You military? Was. What branch? Marcus hesitated. Navy. She nodded. Didn't push. I'm calling animal control. And I need your information. Witness statement. Fine. Sarah pulled out her radio. But before she could key it, the dog made a sound. A low whine. It was trying to move. Trying to get up. Easy, buddy, Sarah said softly. She placed her hand on its head. The dog stilled. Like it understood. Marcus watched her. There was something in the way she touched the animal. Familiarity. Care. You have dogs? Marcus asked. Sarah smiled. Just a little. 3. All rescues. Of course they are. She glanced at him. What's that supposed to mean? Means you're the kind of person who picks up broken things. Sarah's smile faded. Yeah, well, somebody has to. She keyed her radio, gave her location, requested animal control and a welfare check on the dog. The dispatcher responded. Animal control was 20 minutes out. 20 minutes. Marcus looked at the dog. His breathing was getting worse. It's not gonna make it that long, Marcus said. Sarah looked at the dog. Then at Marcus. She was weighing something. He could see it in her eyes. There's a vet clinic 10 minutes from here, she said. Off Magnolia. Dr. Patel. He's good. If we take it now. I'll drive, Marcus said. You can't. Policy. I need to. Then you drive. I'll hold the dog. But we need to go now. Sarah stared at him. 5 seconds. 10. Then she nodded. My car. Let's go. Marcus scooped the dog up as carefully as he could. It was heavier than it looked. 60, maybe 70 pounds. It whimpered when he lifted it, but it didn't fight. Sarah opened the back door of the patrol car. Marcus climbed in, cradling the dog across his lap. Sarah got behind the wheel, hit the lights, and they tore out of the gas station parking lot like the devil himself was chasing them. As the world blurred past the windows, Marcus looked down at the dog. Its eyes were still open, still looking at him. Stay with me, Marcus whispered. Just stay with me. And for the first time in 6 years, Marcus Reed felt something other than guilt. He felt purpose. The clinic was a small building wedged between a tire shop and a dollar store. The sign out front was faded but readable. Magnolia Animal Hospital. Underneath, in smaller letters, Dr. Rajesh Patel, DVM. Sarah pulled into the lot and parked sideways across 2 spaces. She was out of the car before Marcus even opened his door. Stay here, she said. I'll get him. She ran inside. Marcus sat in the back seat holding the dog. His breathing was shallow, labored. He could feel its heartbeat against his chest. Fast. Too fast. Come on, Marcus muttered. Don't quit on me now. The front door of the clinic burst open. Sarah came out with a man in his 50s. Thin, wire-rimmed glasses. A white coat stained with something Marcus didn't want to identify. Dr. Patel didn't waste time. He opened the car door and assessed the dog in 3 seconds. Bring him inside. Now. Marcus carried the dog through the front door. The waiting room was empty. A bell chimed as they entered. The place smelled like antiseptic and wet fur. Dr. Patel led them into the back. A surgery room, metal table, bright lights. He gestured for Marcus to set the dog down. Marcus laid it gently on the table. The dog's eyes fluttered. It was fading. Dr. Patel moved fast. Stethoscope, pulse, temperature. He was muttering to himself in a language Marcus didn't understand. Hindi, maybe, or Gujarati. What happened? Dr. Patel asked. Kicked, Sarah said. Multiple times. Ribs, maybe internal injuries. Dr. Patel nodded. He was already setting up in 4. I need you both to step out. Will it make it? Marcus asked. Dr. Patel didn't look up. I don't know. But if you stay in here, you'll just be in the way. Sarah touched Marcus's arm. Come on. They stepped into the hallway. The door closed behind them. Marcus leaned against the wall. His hands were shaking. He didn't know why. He'd seen worse. Done worse. But something about this felt different. Sarah was watching him. You okay? She asked. Fine. You don't look fine. Marcus looked at her. I'm fine. Sarah nodded slowly. You got a name? Marcus Reed. Sarah Callahan. I know. You said it on the radio. She smiled. Just a little. You always this fun at parties? I don't go to parties. Shocking. They stood in silence for a moment. Somewhere in the building, a dog barked. Another whined. The sounds of animals that needed help. Why'd you stop? Sarah asked. What? At the gas station. Most people would have just kept pumping. Pretended they didn't hear anything. Marcus didn't answer right away. He was thinking about Emma. About the bedtime story she used to make him read. The lost dog that found its way home. Because nobody else was going to, Marcus said finally. Sarah nodded. Yeah, I get that. The door to the surgery room opened. Dr. Patel stepped out. His gloves were bloody. His face was unreadable. Marcus's chest tightened. Well? Sarah asked. Dr. Patel pulled off his gloves. He's stable. For now. 3 broken ribs. Internal bruising. But no organ damage. He got lucky. Marcus exhaled. He didn't realize he'd been holding his breath. Can we see him? Sarah asked. Give me 10 minutes. I need to finish the 4 and get him settled. Dr. Patel turned to go back inside. Then he stopped. Looked at Marcus. You the one who brought him in? Yeah. You saved his life. Another hour and he'd have bled out internally. I didn't do anything. You did. Dr. Patel shook his head. I've been doing this 30 years. Most people don't stop for animals they don't know. You did. That's something. He disappeared back into the surgery room. Sarah looked at Marcus. See? You're a hero. Marcus's jaw tightened. I'm not a hero. Could have fooled me. I'm not. The edge in his voice made her step back. She raised her hands. Okay. My bad. Marcus turned and walked toward the front door. He needed air. Needed space. But Sarah's voice stopped him. Hey, Marcus. He turned. That collar the dog's wearing. You get a look at the tag. Marcus nodded. Couldn't read it. Too scratched up. Dr. Patel has a scanner. If there's a microchip, we can find the owner. The owner's probably the guy who kicked him. Maybe. But maybe not. Either way, we'll know soon. Marcus nodded. Good. He pushed through the front door and stepped outside. The sun was setting. The sky was orange and pink and beautiful in a way that felt wrong. Marcus sat on the curb, put his head in his hands. And for the first time in years, he let himself feel something other than numb. He felt angry. Angry at the man who hurt that dog. Angry at himself for not doing more. Angry at the world for being a place where things like this happened every single day. But underneath the anger was something else. Something that scared him more. Hope. Still watching? Good. Because what happens next is going to make you question everything you thought you knew about this story. Don't you dare scroll away now. Subscribe and stay with us. You'll regret it if you don't. Marcus sat on that curb for 10 minutes before Sarah came out. She had a piece of paper in her hand. Dr. Patel scanned him, she said. No microchip. But he cleaned up the tag. Got a name. Marcus stood. What's it say? Sarah handed him the paper. It was a photocopy of the tag. The engraving was faint, but readable. Max, if found, call Daniel Frost. 951-555-0147. Below the number was an address. 1247 Oakwood Drive, Riverside. Marcus stared at the name. Daniel Frost. You know him? Sarah asked. No. I'll run the name when I get back to the station. See what comes up. Marcus looked at her. You think Frost is the guy from the gas station? Maybe. Or maybe Max ran off and someone else found him. Either way, we'll figure it out. Marcus handed the paper back. What happens to the dog now? Dr. Patel's keeping him overnight. If Frost doesn't show up by tomorrow, Max goes to the shelter. And if Frost is the guy who hurt him? Sarah's expression hardened. Then I arrest him for animal cruelty. And Max gets placed somewhere safe. Marcus nodded. Good. Sarah studied him. You planning on sticking around? Why? Because you look like someone who doesn't let things go. Marcus didn't respond. Sarah sighed. Look, I get it. You want to help. But this is my job. Let me do it. I'm not trying to get in your way. Then don't. Go home. I'll call you if I need a follow-up statement. She turned and walked toward her patrol car. But before she got in, she called back. Hey, Marcus. He looked up. You did a good thing today. Don't forget that. She got in the car and drove away. Marcus stood there, alone. The sky was dark now. The streetlights flickered on. He looked at the clinic. Through the window, he could see Dr. Patel moving around inside. Marcus pulled out his phone, stared at the number Sarah had given him. Daniel Frost. He shouldn't call. It wasn't his business. Sarah was right. This was her job. But Marcus had spent 6 years letting other people handle things. Other people raising his daughter. Other people living the life he was too broken to live. He was tired of standing on the sidelines. Marcus dialed the number. It rang once, twice, 3 times. Then a voice. Male. Rough. Yeah. Is this Daniel Frost? Silence. Then, who's asking? My name's Marcus Reed. I found your dog. Max. More silence. Marcus could hear breathing on the other end. Slow. Controlled. Where? Frost asked. Behind a gas station off Magnolia. Someone hurt him pretty bad. He's at a vet clinic now. Which clinic? Marcus hesitated. Something in Frost's voice didn't sit right. Who are you? Marcus asked. I'm the guy who owns the dog. Now tell me where he is. Marcus's instincts screamed. This wasn't relief. It wasn't gratitude. It was something else. You lose Max often? Marcus asked. What kind of question is that? Simple one. None of your damn business. Just tell me where my dog is. Marcus hung up. His heart was pounding. That wasn't the voice of someone who loved their dog. That was the voice of someone who owned it. Marcus looked at the clinic again. Then he walked back inside. Dr. Patel was in the front room, filling out paperwork. Can I see him? Marcus asked. Dr. Patel looked up. The dog? Yeah. He's resting. I'd rather not. Please. Something in Marcus's tone made Dr. Patel stop. He studied Marcus for a long moment. Then he nodded. 5 minutes. Dr. Patel led Marcus into the back. The recovery room was small. 4 kennels along the wall. 3 were empty. In the 4th, Max lay on a blanket. His eyes were closed. His breathing steady. Marcus knelt in front of the kennel. He's sedated, Dr. Patel said. He'll sleep through the night. Marcus reached through the bars. Let his fingers rest on Max's head. The dog didn't stir. What kind of person does this? Marcus asked. Dr. Patel sighed. I see it more than you'd think. People who view animals as property, not lives. The collar says his owner's name is Daniel Frost. You ever heard of him? Dr. Patel frowned. Frost? No, doesn't ring a bell. But I don't know every owner in Riverside. Marcus nodded. He stayed there, watching the dog breathe. You're thinking about keeping him, Dr. Patel said. What? I've seen that look before. People who come in with strays. They say they're just helping, but really they're deciding. I'm not keeping him. Why not? Because I don't keep anything. Dr. Patel tilted his head. That's a sad way to live. Marcus didn't respond. After a moment, Dr. Patel spoke again. You know what's interesting? That collar. It's old. The tag's been on there for years. But the buckle? It's new. Like someone replaced it recently. Marcus looked at him. What are you saying? I'm saying Max has been wearing that collar for a long time. But someone adjusted it. Recently. Like maybe he's been between owners. Marcus stood. Can you tell how old he is? 7. Maybe 8. And the injuries? Could they be from a fight? Another dog. Dr. Patel shook his head. Blunt force trauma. Consistent with kicks. From a boot. Marcus's jaw tightened. There's something else, Dr. Patel said. Max has scars. Old ones. On his legs. His back. This isn't the first time he's been hurt. Marcus felt his blood run cold. Why would someone keep a dog just to hurt it? Marcus asked. I don't know. But if you find out, you call the police. Not me. Understand? Marcus nodded. But he wasn't listening anymore. He was thinking about Daniel Frost. About the way his voice sounded on the phone. About the way he demanded to know where Max was. Marcus pulled out his phone. Called Sarah. She answered on the second ring. Reed. What is it? Did you run the name yet? Daniel Frost. I'm working on it. Why? I called him. The number on the tag. Something's off. What do you mean off? I mean, he didn't sound like someone who lost a dog. He sounded like someone who lost property. Sarah was quiet for a moment. You shouldn't have called him. I know. If Frost is involved, you just tipped him off. I know. Damn it, Marcus. Just run the name. Please. Sarah sighed. I'm at the station now. Give me 5 minutes. She hung up. Marcus stood there, staring at Max. Dr. Patel cleared his throat. You should go home. Yeah. But Marcus didn't move, because something was wrong. Something deeper than a man kicking a dog behind a gas station. Something that made the hair on the back of Marcus's neck stand up. His phone buzzed. Sarah. He answered. What did you find? Sarah's voice was tight. Daniel Frost. 34. Lives at 1247 Oakwood Drive. No priors. But get this. He reported Max stolen. 3 days ago. Marcus's chest tightened. Stolen? Yeah. Filed a report. Said someone took Max from his yard. He's been looking for him. That doesn't make sense. If he's looking for Max, why would someone steal him just to hurt him? I don't know. But I'm heading to Frost's address now. Stay out of it, Marcus. I mean it. Sarah. I mean it. She hung up. Marcus looked at Dr. Patel. I need to go. You're not going to do anything stupid, are you? Marcus didn't answer. He walked out of the clinic and climbed into his truck. He sat there, engine off, staring at the steering wheel. Emma's voice echoed in his head. The question she asked every Sunday. When are you coming to visit, Dad? Marcus had spent 6 years running from things. From his past. From his guilt. From every responsibility that required him to stay. But right now, in this moment, he wasn't running. He was driving. Toward Oakwood Drive. Toward Daniel Frost. Toward the truth. If you click away now, you'll never know what Marcus finds at that address. And believe me, you'll be asking yourself about it for days. Hit subscribe. Stay with us. This is where everything changes. Oakwood Drive was a quiet street on the east side of Riverside. Small houses. Chain link fences. Cars parked on dead lawns. The kind of neighborhood where people minded their business because getting involved only made things worse. Marcus parked 2 houses down from 1247. He sat in his truck. Watching. The house was dark. Single story. Peeling paint. A truck in the driveway. Rusted. Red. The same truck from the gas station. Marcus's pulse quickened. He reached for his door handle. Then stopped. What was he doing? Sarah was on her way. This was her job. Not his. But the image of Max, broken and bleeding behind that gas station, wouldn't leave his mind. and the sound of Daniel Frost's voice on the phone. Cold. Demanding. Marcus got out of the truck. He walked slowly down the sidewalk. His eyes scanned every window, every shadow. Old habits. Clear the corners. Check your six. He reached the edge of Frost's property. The yard was dirt and weeds. A chain-link fence ran along the perimeter. The gate was open. Marcus stepped through. He moved toward the side of the house. There was a window, curtains drawn, but a sliver of light came through the gap. Marcus leaned close, peered inside. The living room was a mess. Fast food wrappers, beer cans, a couch with the stuffing coming out, and on the wall a flat-screen TV, playing some kind of action movie. But no one was in the room. Marcus moved along the side of the house. There was a back door. He tested the handle. Locked. He was about to turn back when he heard it. A sound. From inside. Not a voice. Something else. A bark. Muffled. Distant. Marcus froze. There was another dog inside. He moved to the next window. This one was smaller. Higher up. He had to stand on a cinder block to see through. It was a bedroom. Dark. But Marcus could make out shapes. A mattress on the floor. Clothes piled in the corner. And in the far corner a kennel. Inside the kennel was a dog. Smaller than Max, black and white. A border collie, maybe. It was pacing. Anxious. Marcus's stomach turned. He pulled out his phone. Called Sarah. "Where are you?" she demanded. "Frost's house." "Damn it, Marcus. There's another dog here. In a kennel. In the bedroom." Sarah was silent for a moment. "You're sure?" "I'm looking at it right now. I'm 2 minutes out. Do not go inside. Do you hear me? Do not." A noise. Behind Marcus. He turned. A man stood in the yard, 30 feet away, holding a tire iron. It was the man from the gas station. Daniel Frost. "You lost?" Frost asked. His voice was calm. Too calm. Marcus's hand went to his waistband. He wasn't carrying. Hadn't carried a weapon in 6 years. "Stupid." "Just leaving," Marcus said. Frost took a step closer. "No, I don't think you are." Marcus's phone was still in his hand. Sarah's voice was a tinny echo. "Marcus? Marcus, what's happening?" Frost smiled. "That the cops." Marcus didn't answer. Frost took another step. "You know what your problem is? You don't know when to mind your own business." "Funny. I was about to say the same thing about you and that dog." Frost's smile faded. "Max is mine. I can do whatever I want with him." "Not anymore." Frost lunged. Marcus sidestepped. Muscle memory. The tire iron swung past his shoulder. Frost stumbled forward. Marcus grabbed Frost's wrist. Twisted. The tire iron clattered to the ground. Frost swung with his free hand. Caught Marcus on the jaw. Pain exploded. Marcus's vision blurred. But he didn't let go. He drove his knee into Frost's stomach. Frost doubled over. Gasping. Marcus shoved him to the ground. Pinned him. Face down. Arm twisted behind his back. "Stay down," Marcus growled. Frost thrashed. "Get off me." Marcus pressed harder. "I said stay down." Sirens. Distant. Getting closer. Frost went still. "You're dead. You hear me? Dead." Marcus leaned close. Whispered in Frost's ear. "I've been dead for 6 years. You're not special." The sirens screamed into the driveway. Red and blue lights flooded the yard. Car doors opened. Footsteps. Fast. Riverside County Sheriff. "Let him go." Marcus looked up. Sarah stood 10 feet away. Gun drawn. Pointed at him. "It's me," Marcus said. "I know. Let him go. Now." Marcus released Frost. Raised his hands. Stepped back. 2 other deputies moved in. Cuffed Frost. Hauled him to his feet. Frost was laughing. "He assaulted me. You saw it." Sarah holstered her weapon. Walked over to Marcus. Her face was stone. "You okay?" she asked. "Fine. You're an idiot." "I know." She looked at the house. "You said there's another dog inside?" Marcus nodded. "Back bedroom. Kennel." Sarah turned to one of the deputies. Get a warrant. Now. The deputy nodded and pulled out his radio. Sarah looked back at Marcus. You're lucky I don't arrest you too. For what? Trespassing. Assault. Take your pick. He came at me with a tire iron. I know. That's the only reason you're not in cuffs right now. She walked past him. Toward the house. Marcus followed. Where you going? Sarah asked without turning around. With you. No. You're not. There's a dog in there. And I'll get it. You're staying out here. Marcus stopped. Watched her walk up to the front door. Another patrol car pulled up. Then another. The street was filling with lights and noise. Neighbors started coming out. Watching. Whispering. Marcus stood in the yard. His jaw ached. His hands were shaking. But he didn't leave. Because he needed to know. Needed to know what was inside that house. Needed to know why Daniel Frost had 2 dogs and a yard full of secrets. It took 40 minutes to get the warrant. Marcus sat on the curb. Watching. Waiting. Sarah came out of the house twice. Both times her face was tight. Unreadable. Finally, she walked over to Marcus. You were right, she said. There's a dog inside. Border Collie mix. Malnourished. Dehydrated. But alive. Just one. Sarah hesitated. No. Marcus's stomach dropped. How many? 3. 1 in the bedroom. 2 in the garage. All in kennels. All in bad shape. Marcus closed his eyes. Jesus. There's more. We found paperwork. Bills of sale. Frost's been buying dogs off Craigslist. Cheap. Sick. Injured. Then reselling them after he nurses them back to health. Except he's not nursing them. He's hoarding them. And Max. Max was one of them. Frost bought him 6 months ago. From a family in Corona. They thought they were rehoming him to someone who cared. Marcus's hands clenched. So Frost didn't just kick Max once. He's been hurting him for months. Looks that way. Why? Sarah shook her head. I don't know. Control. Power. Maybe he's just broken. Does it matter? Yeah. It matters. Sarah sat down next to him. You did good today, Marcus. You saved Max. And now we're going to save the others. Marcus didn't feel good. He felt hollow. What happens to Frost? Marcus asked. He's going to jail. Animal cruelty. Multiple counts. Fraud. He's done. And the dogs? They'll go to the shelter. Get evaluated. Hopefully adopted. Hopefully. Sarah looked at him. You're thinking about Max, aren't you? Marcus didn't answer. He's going to be okay, Sarah said. Dr. Patel's good. And there are a lot of people who want to adopt older dogs. Yeah. But not you. Marcus looked at her. What? You're not going to adopt him. Are you? Marcus stood. I don't have room for a dog. That's not what I asked. I can't. Why not? Because I can't even take care of myself. How am I supposed to take care of a dog? Sarah stood too. Maybe that's exactly why you should. Marcus turned and walked toward his truck. Hey! Sarah called after him. You're not as broken as you think you are. Marcus stopped. But he didn't turn around. Yeah, he said quietly. I am. He got in his truck and drove away. Marcus didn't go home. He drove to the clinic. It was past midnight. The lights were off. He sat in the parking lot, staring at the building. His phone rang. He looked at the screen. Emma. His heart stopped. She never called this late. He answered. Emma? Hi, Dad. Her voice was small, shaky. What's wrong? Marcus asked. Are you okay? I'm fine. I needed to talk to you. Marcus's chest tightened. What happened? Grandma's in the hospital. The world tilted. What? Marcus's voice cracked. She fell. They think she had a stroke. She's okay, I think. But they're keeping her overnight. Marcus's hands were shaking. Where are you? At the hospital. Aunt Rachel's here. She's taking care of me. I'm coming. Right now. I'll be there in 6 hours. Dad, you don't have to. I'm coming, Emma. Silence. Then, softly, Okay. I love you. I love you too, Dad. She hung up. Marcus sat there, his heart pounding, his mind racing. He should have been there. Should have visited months ago. Should have been the father Emma deserved instead of the ghost he'd become. He started the truck, put it in gear, but before he pulled out, he looked at the clinic one more time. Max was in there, alone, broken, waiting for someone to come back, just like Emma. Marcus turned off the engine. He got out, walked to the front door, knocked. No answer. He knocked again, harder. A light came on inside. Dr. Patel appeared. He opened the door. Marcus? It's midnight. I know. I'm sorry, but I need to see Max. Dr. Patel frowned. He's sleeping. You can come back tomorrow. I can't. I'm leaving. Tonight. I have to drive to Oregon. Family emergency. Dr. Patel's expression softened. I'm sorry. Is everything okay? I don't know, but I can't leave without saying goodbye. Dr. Patel studied him. Then he stepped aside. 5 minutes. Marcus walked to the back, to the recovery room. Max was in the same kennel, still sleeping. Marcus knelt down, opened the kennel door, reached in. Max stirred, opened his eyes, looked at Marcus, and for the first time his tail moved. Just a little. A weak wag. Marcus felt something break inside him. Hey, buddy, Marcus whispered. I'm sorry. I have to go. But you're going to be okay. Dr. Patel's going to take care of you. And someone's going to adopt you. Someone good. I promise. Max's tail wagged again. Stronger this time. Marcus stroked his head. You're a fighter. You know that? You didn't give up. Even when you should have. Max licked Marcus's hand. Marcus's vision blurred. He wiped his eyes. I'm not a good person, Marcus said. I failed the people I love. But you deserved better. And I'm sorry I can't give that to you. Max rested his head on Marcus's hand. And in that moment Marcus understood something. He wasn't saying goodbye to Max. He was saying goodbye to the man he used to be. The man who couldn't hold on to anything because he was too afraid to lose it. Marcus stood, closed the kennel, walked out. Dr. Patel was waiting in the hallway. Thank you, Marcus said. Will you be back? Dr. Patel asked. Marcus didn't know how to answer that, so he just nodded and left. Marcus drove through the night. The highway was empty. Just him and the yellow lines and the memories he'd been running from for 6 years. He thought about Angela, about the way she used to laugh at his terrible jokes, the way she'd curl up next to him on the couch and fall asleep during movies. He thought about Emma, about the way she used to climb into his lap and make him read that damn dog story over and over until he had it memorized. And he thought about Max, a dog he'd known for less than 12 hours, a dog that wasn't his, a dog that had no reason to trust him, but did anyway. By the time Marcus crossed into Oregon, the sun was rising, pink and gold and impossibly beautiful. He pulled into the hospital parking lot at 7 in the morning. Emma was sitting on a bench outside the entrance. Her aunt was next to her. They were both drinking coffee from paper cups. Emma saw him first. She stood, her eyes wide. Dad! Marcus got out of the truck, walked toward her, and then Emma was running. She crashed into him, wrapped her arms around his waist. Marcus held her tight. I'm here, he whispered. I'm here. Emma was crying. So was Marcus. Grandma's okay, Emma said into his chest. They're keeping her for a few more days. But she's okay. Good. That's good. Emma pulled back, looked up at him. You came. Of course I came. But you never come. Marcus's throat tightened. I know. And I'm sorry. But I'm here now. Emma hugged him again. Over her shoulder, Marcus saw her aunt watching. She gave him a small nod. No judgment. Just acknowledgement. They went inside. Visited Angela's mother. She was tired but awake. She smiled when she saw Marcus. You look terrible, she said. Marcus laughed. Thanks. I'm glad you came. Me too. They stayed at the hospital all day. Emma didn't leave Marcus's side. She told him about school, about her friends, About the soccer team she joined. Marcus listened. Really listened. For the first time in years. That night, they went back to the grandmother's house. Emma's aunt made dinner. They ate together. Like a family. After Emma went to bed, Marcus sat on the porch, staring at the stars. His phone buzzed. Sarah. He answered. Hey. Hey. How's your family? Better. Thanks for asking. Good. Listen, I wanted to update you. Frost's been charged. 5 counts of animal cruelty. He's not getting out. Good. And the dogs are all at the shelter, getting treatment. The border collie's already been adopted. That's great. Sarah hesitated. Max is still there. Marcus's chest tightened. Yeah. He's healthy. Dr. Patel cleared him. But nobody's put in an application yet. He'll find a home. Maybe. But he's older. And he's got scars. People usually want puppies. Marcus closed his eyes. Marcus, Sarah said softly. He keeps looking at the door. Like he's waiting for someone. Sarah, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I see. Marcus didn't respond. Think about it, Sarah said. That's all I'm asking. She hung up. Marcus sat there. The stars were bright. The air was cold. Emma came out onto the porch. She was wearing her pajamas. Dad. Yeah. Who were you talking to? A friend. Emma sat next to him. You look sad. I'm not sad. You're a bad liar. Marcus smiled. Yeah, I am. They sat in silence for a moment. Dad? Emma asked. Yeah. Do you remember that book? The one about the dog? Marcus's heart stopped. Yeah, I remember. What was it called? Max Finds His Way Home. Emma nodded. I always liked that story. Me too. Do you think it's true? That dogs can find their way home? Marcus looked at her. I think they can. If someone's there waiting for them. Emma leaned against him. I'm glad you came home, Dad. Marcus's eyes burned. Me too, kiddo. Me too. Marcus stayed in Oregon for 3 days. He helped Emma's grandmother get settled. Made sure Emma was okay. Fixed the leaky faucet in the kitchen that had been broken for months. On the 3rd night, Emma asked him the question. Are you leaving again? Marcus looked at her. I have to go back to California. For work. But you'll visit? Yes. When? Marcus took a breath. Soon. Really soon. Emma nodded. But she didn't look convinced. That night Marcus couldn't sleep. He lay on the couch, staring at the ceiling. He thought about Sarah's words. He keeps looking at the door, like he's waiting for someone. He thought about Emma's question. When are you coming to visit, Dad? And he thought about Angela. About the last thing she'd ever said to him before that phone call. You're a good man, Marcus. Don't forget that. But he had forgotten. For 6 years he'd forgotten. At 3 in the morning Marcus got up, packed his bag, wrote a note for Emma. Had to go. But I'll call you tomorrow. And I'll be back in 2 weeks. Promise. Love, Dad. He left before sunrise. Drove south. Back to California. Back to Riverside. He didn't stop. Didn't sleep. Just drove. By the time he pulled into the shelter parking lot, it was almost noon. He walked inside. The smell hit him first. Dogs. Lots of them. Barking. Whining. Waiting. A woman at the front desk looked up. Can I help you? I'm here to see a dog. Max. The woman smiled. Oh, Max. He's in the back. Are you interested in adopting? Marcus hesitated. Yeah, I think so. Great. Let me get someone to bring him out. She disappeared into the back. Marcus waited. His heart was pounding. A minute later, a young man came out, leading Max on a leash. Max looked better. His ribs were still visible, but his eyes were bright. His tail was wagging. And when he saw Marcus, he pulled. The young man let go of the leash. Max ran. He jumped up, paws on Marcus's chest, licking his face, tail wagging so hard his whole body shook. Marcus laughed. He couldn't help it. Hey, buddy. Yeah. I missed you too. The woman at the desk was smiling. Looks like he remembers you. Marcus knelt down. Let Max lick his face, scratch his ears. So, the woman said, you want to adopt him? Marcus looked at Max, at the scars on his legs, at the way his tail hadn't stopped wagging since he saw Marcus. Yeah, Marcus said. Yeah, I do. The paperwork took an hour. Background check. Home visit scheduled. Adoption fee. But by the end of the day, Max was his. Marcus loaded him into the truck. Max sat in the passenger seat, staring out the window, tongue hanging out. You ready to go home? Marcus asked. Max looked at him, tail wagging. Marcus started the engine. As they drove, Marcus pulled out his phone, called Emma. She answered on the first ring. Dad. Hey kiddo. I wanted to tell you something. What? I adopted a dog. Silence. Then, really? Really? His name's Max. Emma squealed. Can I meet him? In 2 weeks. When I come visit. You promise? I promise. Emma was quiet for a moment. Then softly, I'm proud of you, Dad. Marcus's eyes burned. Thanks, Em. They talked for a few more minutes, then hung up. Marcus looked at Max. You hear that, buddy? We're going to meet my daughter. Max's tail wagged. Marcus smiled. For the first time in 6 years, Marcus Reed felt like he was driving toward something instead of away from it. It was a Saturday morning in June. Marcus woke up to the sound of Max's tail thumping against the floor. All right, Marcus muttered. I'm up. He got out of bed. Max followed him to the kitchen. Marcus made coffee, fed Max. They went for a run. 5 miles. Same route they ran every morning. When they got back, Marcus's phone rang. Emma. Hey, kiddo. Hi, Dad. Are you still coming today? Of course. I'm leaving in an hour. Max too. Max too. Emma squealed. Okay. See you soon. Marcus hung up. Looked at Max. You ready for a road trip? Max barked. Marcus loaded the truck. Packed a bag for himself. A bag for Max. They hit the road by 9. The drive to Oregon took 6 hours. They stopped twice. Once for gas. Once for Max to stretch his legs. When they pulled into Emma's grandmother's driveway, Emma was already outside. Waiting. Max saw her and started barking. Tail wagging so hard Marcus thought it might fall off. Marcus opened the door. Max jumped out. Ran straight to Emma. She dropped to her knees. Max tackled her. Licked her face. She was laughing. Marcus got out of the truck. Walked over. Emma stood. Hugged him. I'm so glad you're here. Me too. They spent the weekend together. Hiking. Playing with Max, eating dinner as a family. On Sunday night, Emma asked him the question. When are you coming back? Marcus smiled. 2 weeks. Really? Really? Emma hugged him again. That night, as Marcus lay in bed with Max curled up next to him, he thought about the past 6 months. He'd started seeing a therapist, working through the guilt, the grief, the loss. He'd called Emma every Sunday, sometimes twice a week. He'd adopted 2 more dogs from the shelter, both older, both with scars. And he'd started volunteering at the clinic with Dr. Patel, helping animals that nobody else wanted. Sarah still called him every few weeks, just to check in. Sometimes they got coffee, just as friends. Marcus wasn't perfect. He still had bad days. Days where the guilt felt like a weight he couldn't lift. But he also had good days. Days where he woke up with a purpose. Days where he felt like the man Angela always believed he could be. Max lifted his head, looked at Marcus. Marcus scratched his ears. Thanks, buddy, for not giving up on me. Max licked his hand, then rested his head on Marcus's chest. And in that moment, Marcus understood something. He'd spent 6 years looking for a way to forgive himself, to find peace, to feel whole again. But he'd been looking in the wrong places, because peace wasn't something you found. It was something you built. One day at a time, one choice at a time, one broken thing you chose to save at a time. Marcus closed his eyes, and for the first time in 6 years, he slept through the night. You made it. You stayed. And I hope this story reminded you that broken things can heal, that second chances are real, and that sometimes the life you save is your own. If the story moved you, hit that subscribe button. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, karma isn't just something that happens. It's something we create every single day. Thanks for being here. We'll see you in the next one.